And so next weekend it's going to be John Dee's Monas Hieroglyphica, which is a wonderful text. I don't know if you know it, but it's fantastic. You must read it. I was slow to warm to John Dee. At first I didn't know who the hell he was. I remember Terence McKenna vaguely somewhere mentioning him. So I always had just this vague idea he was this Renaissance occult guy. And then it just gradually came into my field of awareness. He is the one who brought the Hermetic tradition into Elizabethan England. And it starts with him. He's thrown into jail by Mary on suspicion of him conjuring against her. He was always under suspicion for conjuring. He was like a Faust figure. And then when Elizabeth ascended the throne, just before she did, he forecast the exact date that it would take place on. And it happened using astrology. And so she let him out. And then for a while, he was just the intelligentsia. He was her right-hand man as far as all matters intellectual were concerned. And that wasn't just physics or metaphysics, but physics as well, because he was good with technology. He designed a new kind of compass. He was close friends with Sir Walter Raleigh and also Francis Drake. They all knew him and respected him. And so he was a big deal. I mean, he was like a superstar. He was universally, of that time, probably the most learned individual in Faustian civilization at that time. Now, it's funny how he fell into such disgrace to the point where you barely get an entry on him in the Encyclopedia Britannica in the 19th century. There's like a sentence about him. No one ever talks about him. Not until Charlotte Fell Smith in 1909 put out a serious biography on him that his reputation starts slowly coming back. And then as the decades, I mean, he was always known in the occult underground world because of his interest in magic and divination and the Enochian alphabet, all those kinds of things. So that kept him alive with people who were interested in the occult and in magic. But as far as the cultural mainstream goes, he was just completely forgotten and submerged. That's not the case now anymore. Ever since the 1970s with Frances Yates doing her work, and then Peter French's biography on him also came out around that time. There's been a sort of de-revival, a de-renaissance. The medium's talking about me having been him in a previous lifetime. She goes, oh, well, yeah, you were this philosopher in the time of Queen Elizabeth who kept getting into trouble and saying things that he shouldn't have said.